Hey folks, Matt Outdoorsman here, coming at you from the outpost slash bug out location camp. I'm up here at least once a week. Just, checking on things, making sure everything is safe and secure. Once in a while I drop some items off. All that fun stuff. And then I think after I'm done doing this, I'm gonna hike out into the woods here. The rut is in full effect, and hopefully I can put one down today. Anyway, let's hop into it, folks. I see a ton of videos on YouTube coming out of the prepping community and other places about the Civil War here in America, and if there will be a Civil War. Hell, I even put out a video myself saying that's most likely going to be a Civil War revolution in this country. If you haven't checked that out yet, go check out that video. However, I've been putting a lot of thought behind the Civil War talk here on moving forward in this country, and I want to break it down today in today's video on how I think a Civil War would play out. And like I said, lots of videos about this, a Civil War on YouTube. It's just a lot of people singing that song. Versus, I don't really see too many folks here actually breaking down what a Civil War would look like here in 2022 America. Okay, like if we woke up and we're in the middle of a Civil War. All right, there are some creators out there that have broken it down, and they actually have some pretty interesting videos on it. But I'm gonna break it down to you in the Mad Outdoor version of what a Civil War would look like today. All right, folks, let's face it. This isn't 1861, okay, where the first American Civil War took place. All right, we are not marching down trails and battling it out with each other in farm fields. Okay, the world is a different place nowadays. All right, there are so many mitigating factors involved if a Civil War would break out today. In my opinion, I feel that it would be an ideological Civil War. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, look what's going on right now. This country is divided, not just based on politics. All right, we've got other issues in this country that we are divided on. And to break it down just for a few examples, yes, politics that I just mentioned. You got the race war that is going on. You got the war against police. You've got these subcultures that, have beef with each other, which kind of like is connected to politics. I'm talking about the Tifas and, the BLMs and on the left-wing side, and then on the right-wing side, you got your groups like the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and all that stuff, so there's a lot of, like I said, mitigating factors that are in play here, okay? So it's all based on ideology, all right? Not enough coffee this morning, hold on. All right. In a Civil War today, there wouldn't be any clear front lines. Okay, this would be a war within the states. All right, let's take the midterm election All right, that just happened last week. All right, look how everybody voted, right? You know, you got your red counties, you got your blue districts, and most states, with the exception of the few, but most states, you know, pretty much those elections were decided by a few percentage points or less. All right, let's just face it. I mean, I live in a very blue state up here in liberal paradise, New England, and for the first time in a long time, we almost went red. But at the end of the day, blue across the board. All right, not a fucking surprise. Okay. So yeah, no clear front lines. This would be neighbor against neighbor. All right. And folks, it'll almost be like a purge event at first. And what do I mean by purge event? Well, anybody watch the movie Purge? All right. I mean, it's basically a free for all, go on out and fucking kill each other kind of a thing. It would be a purge event. Okay. That's the best way I could like it to. At first. And like I said, I don't think this would be a war fought between right wing and left wing. You know, there's going to be multiple warring factions, right? You know, we just talked about that, consisting of subcultures, groups that hate each other, extremist groups, gangs, you know, you name it. It's going to be a fucking shit show. All right. So I think that's, if it's going to kick off, it's going to kick off like that. All right, in my opinion. All right, and it's going to be to the point where all hell is going to break loose in every state, and the government's first response to that would be that martial law would be declared. Okay, the National Guard will be deployed within the states to try to quell the violence, right? You'll see massive nationwide protests. And it's going to get to the point where, you know, it's going to get escalated to where the protesters and the rioters are going to eventually up the aggression towards the National Guard units that are trying to keep the peace, and they're going to open fire on each other. Okay, it's happened in this country before. Okay, it's just hasn't happened in a long time. All right, so for you folks that say, oh, well, the military can't fire upon their own citizens, well, they've done it before. All right, and if the citizens are opening fire on the National Guard units, well, what do you think's going to happen? All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. And as a result, you know, major cities throughout this country are going to burn. Okay. So then you're going to see isolated acts of domestic terrorism. Federal and state buildings will be attacked under those acts of domestic terrorism. And this is even if the National Guard can get shit under control, right? You know, it's still going to be a full-blown event, you know. So yeah, you will see those isolated acts of domestic terrorism, in my opinion. You know, you might even see political assassinations, okay? Personal vendettas being carried out. Again, purge event, folks, right? You know, carried out within the war itself. So it's total lawlessness will be going on. Total and complete lawlessness. You know, you will see kidnappings. You'll see defensive civilians getting killed, you know, getting robbed. You'll see within the states the fighting within the states, you will see police departments and even probably National Guard units taking sides at some point, and oh, but wait, Mad Outdoorsman, the National Guard, they committed to an oath to fight against domestic terrorism and enemies, foreign and domestic, right? Yeah, but let me throw this at you for food for thought. Let's say I'm in the National Guard, let's say I'm a right-wing believer. I'm a conservative, all right? Let's say that the guy across from me, the soldier across from me, is a left-wing liberal, all right? He's my enemy, right or wrong, all right? So my oath to protect and defend against foreign and domestic enemies would be upheld, right or wrong, and vice versa. That liberal soldier might feel the same way. He might look at me as a conservative and say, well, he's my enemy. I have an oath to defend against foreign and domestic enemies. All right, so this is where you're going to see military units just busting apart from the officers right down. Okay, so just food for thought on that. And then as this conflict escalates, I think when it really shit hits the fan really bad, if it hasn't already, right? Power grid and infrastructure will be attacked. Okay, and folks, once that power grid goes down, we have no supply chain. Okay, people are going to starve to death. People are going to be killing each other for food. So this won't be an ideological war at this point. This will be a war for survival, all right? This will look like a third world country. And then there are other factors that you got to consider. Again, going back, this is not 1861 anymore, right? The whole world would be affected if America went to civil war. Okay, there would be intervention from outside countries. Believe that. All right. The UN could even be brought in. The blue helmets, right? Our enemies will be watching. They will get involved in some way, shape, or form to take advantage. All right. There is a saying, folks, where there is chaos, there is opportunity. All right. Believe that. All right, so civil war in this country is the last thing that anybody would want. And I'm going to tell you something right now, too, because there are folks, all right, that'll probably sit there and say, oh, Mad Outdoorsman, you're fantasizing about a civil war, you and the rest of these folks that come on this, platform and make these videos about a civil war. I'm going to make something real fucking clear to you right now. No, I'm not fantasizing about a civil war, all right? Get your fucking head out of your ass, open up your eyes, and take a look at what's going on around you, all right? This is legit fucking talk, all right? And if you don't see that, then, hey, carry the fuck on, all right? Just look at what is going on. We got an economy that is in the fucking toilet, all right? We got World War III right around the corner, all right? If we're not even in World War III yet, all right? My opinion, we are. Excuse me. We got the mainstream media that's continues every day, 24/7, that they just continue to manipulate and spin the fucking narrative. And that's on both sides, folks, all right? That's on both sides of the mainstream media. All right, and that's another thing I want to jump into. You got the left-wing media, all right, and, Civil War scenario, right? You think the MSM's going to shut the fuck up? Hell no, they're going to escalate that. They're going to stir that fucking pot, folks. Believe that, all right? They're going to take Democrats and they're going to paint them as fucking heroes that are fighting to save democracy, this, that, and the other thing, all right? And the right-wing media is going to do the same goddamn thing. Believe it, okay? The problem with mainstream media nowadays, and hey, if you disagree, put it in the comments, but I'm going to say it. And it's, you got these fucking journalists, right? And they're groomed or they're raised and they grow up to be these, they're thinking that journalism is their personal fucking platform to express their own opinions rather than what? Stay neutral and inform the public. You know, isn't that what journalism's supposed to be about? Stay neutral and informing the public? But no, they use these fucking platforms to express their fucking ideological, twisted fucking logic ideas, all right, and shove it down our throats on both sides of the aisle, okay? They encourage division. They're unethical. They're fucking dishonest. You know, the mainstream media is fucking trash, folks, okay? And they are the biggest instigators of this division in this country right now, okay? And I don't want to say it, all right? Because I could probably fucking get this video could be getting flagged. But I have my thoughts about fucking journalists and what I'd like to goddamn fucking do to them, but I digress. So there you go. And what's it all about? Why do they do this? Why does the MSN do this? Anybody? Profit. They do it to increase their profit, folks. It's all about fucking money at the end of the day. Believe it. All right? My opinion. All right, so anyway, back to the Civil War talk. So what would be the end-all, be-all of this? Okay? Well, in my opinion, it would be a succession of the states. You know, we would see a few states breaking away from the Union at the end of the day. You know? And I think we'll just go, you know, these folks will go their own ways. You know, the red states will go one way, the blue states will go the other, and there will be no more United States of America, you know. It will be the divided states of America. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to go on a side where you have the 20 million AR-15 owners where they reside. You know, that's the side I'm going to. Just saying. Because the vast majority of them are right-wing gun owner, right-wingers, right? And I brought it up before, you know, the U.S. Army units, military units, you know, like special ops, you know. I even researched the 82nd Airborne, you know. Guess what? They draw heavily from middle American culture, meaning they are right-wing, all right? And it goes back to what I said a few moments ago. The military will be divided, you know, so that's just how I'm seeing it. So that's pretty much the Civil War scenario of how I think everything will be broken down. Can I sit here and say how a civil war would start? When it would start? What would get it to that point where neighbors are going to be fighting neighbors within the states? Hell, your guess is as good as mine, folks, you know, but I mean, all the ingredients are there right now in the pot, okay? And it's cooking and it's getting to that boiling point. You know, like I said, we got an economy in ruins, okay? We've got this shit happening across the creek with Russia and Ukraine. And in my opinion, you know, folks, if you're not paying attention to that news with Russia and Ukraine, I implore you to do it, you know. You got China that's at odds with the U.S. because China wants to invade Taiwan and bring them bring them back into China, because they feel China feels that Taiwan is a part of China. And I'll tell you what, if that goes down, if China invades Taiwan, that's gonna draw us right in to an all-out, full-blown World War III. Okay, and I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's what Russia's waiting for. I think they're waiting for the heat to come off them a little bit. And I think once China invades Taiwan, Russia's going to escalate the war over there in Ukraine and possibly use nukes against Ukraine. Okay? And then you got North Korea and South Korea. You got fucking that fucking fruitcake up there up in North Korea, Rocket Man. That's what 45 calls him, right? Doing his stupid fucking missile tests and his little fucking drills there, and so you got all this shit going on, right? And then you got, let's not leave Israel out, right? You got Israel and Iran that are at each other's throats. Iran's a nuclear power. Folks, it's getting ugly. If you don't think all hell's gonna break loose, again, get your heads out of your asses. It's gonna get fucking stupid. All right. But yeah, going back to what I feel would start this, this civil war in America. Maybe a political assassination of a high-profile political figure, right? I mean, somebody that's popular. It could take something like that. It could take an election that was fucking rigged, okay, and they were found out to be cheating, which could cause all hell to break loose, right? I mean, look what's going on down in Brazil right now. I touched on this in a video, I think last week. That whole country's fucking popping off right now. The entire country is burning because they disagreed with the results of the election. They feel that it was rigged. All right, you think that can't happen here? Wait till 2024 rolls around, folks, when the presidential election comes in, and then we have that going on. Whew. All right, so it could be that could pop it off. It could be some other event, like what happened a couple years ago. And that only took a few bad cops making a really fucking bad decision to get cities to stop burning, all right? And for the looting to happen and people getting murdered, all right? I mean, when is enough going to be enough? When is it going to get to that point where, the average normal folks just stop sitting around and say, you know what, fuck this shit, all right? It's time to take our goddamn country back. We're not going to let these fucking mutts burn our fucking cities down, loot our businesses, beat us down out in the fucking streets, shouting our goddamn faces while we're trying to eat supper with our family at a restaurant. It could be anything that kicks this off, all right? But in my opinion, out of everything I just listed, I think it's going to be an election. Okay, it's going to start off being politically motivated. And it's going to be an election that they're going to find out that there was cheating going on. And nothing's going to get done about it from the people that are supposed to make sure that these elections go right. You know what I'm saying? And I think people are going to get up and they're going to say, fuck this. All right, it's time. It's time. All right? My opinion, I'm sticking to it. If you disagree, that's fine. All right? But this isn't fantasy talk. This is all legit, real fucking talk here, folks. This is shit that's going on. All right? We're living in scary times. This is why I prep. I'm not pulling this shit out of fucking thin air and making it up just to get clicks. Okay? And I really hope people are paying attention. They really do. All right. Anyway, listen, that's pretty much all I got today. What we got? We're going on noontime here. I think I'm getting ready to go take a hike out in the woods here. See if I can drop something today. And I'm not talking about a load. Anyway, folks, if you like this video, I would appreciate it if you have not already subscribed to my channel. Perhaps hit the thumbs up button on the way out. That'll help me grow my channel. That'll help me get my message out there into the community. I'd appreciate your feedback if you have any. That's all I got today. Matt Outdoorsman. Thanks for watching.